So this is going to be a weird-ass season if it does go down. And the reality of the 2020 potential NFL football year is that you could and will see some players opting out of the season due to coronavirus concerns. Right? So we've seen this in baseball, you've seen in the NBA, you've seen the NHL, as well as you will definitely see this in the NFL. I mean, just by sheer numbers and happenstance. I mean, there's 53-man rosters as opposed to smaller rosters of the other sports. It's going to happen, right? Currently, the NFL and NFLPA are working on an outline for players if they do wish to opt out of the season. Now, as a viewer suggested last week, and I can't find the comment, so my bad, I can't give proper attribution, but shout out, love you. So Kirk has been radio silent most of this offseason, right? So just putting together pieces, and when you got time, it's time can be a horrible thing, right? So you're trying to read the tea leaves here. So staying in Florida with his parents, working out in the driveway, passersby yelling "Go Pack, go!" It's actually kind of hilarious, right? It's very on brand for Kirk Cousins. Not attending workouts in Woodbury a couple weeks ago with the wide receivers, even though he said in May that he would. So you got that going on. Now, looking at the optics of it, he's got 2 kids, he's got older parents, he's got his wife who underwent an emergency surgery in February. And I know it's easy for us to say, hey, just quarantine yourself from your family for 6 months, play football, which is your profession, so you're like, okay. You try this. If you got a family, if you got friends, you got loved ones, that whole thing, just try and separate yourself from them from January to February, right? Full-on isolation, keeping up with Zoom, and you're missing Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and all the other good stuff. Go ahead. Go ahead and try to do that, please. Basically, 6 months away, half a year from the people that you love the most ain't going to happen, right? Because, I mean, football players, they're humans. They're just like you and me. Well, they're just like me. I don't know if you're human or not. You could be an alien. You could be a lizard people. Whatever. And I know I know a lot of the people saying out there, I would do it for that kind of money. For sure. I would too. Like, I would take Corona straight in the veins for what Kirk Cousins makes on an annual basis, right? But the marginal utility of money, it goes way down after you got some, and it's just the fact, right? So Kirk Cousins has career earnings north of $100 million, and after taxes, say that's $50 million. Factor in his lifestyle as well as some Pizza Ranch dough. I would venture a wager that his net worth is over $50 million still, right? And guys like Kirk, who do put a premium on family and do have a large chunk of money in the bank, priorities change, and they do have options now, because money does give you options in life. Doesn't buy you happiness, but it gives you options, and options can make you happy. Now, would 6 months away from your family make you happy or unhappy? Probably unhappy, right? And with Kirk, if Kirk had been done with his money, let's say, and had blown it all on camels at birthday parties, as well as had banks knock on the door, calling in loans, then he probably would play. He'd probably strap it up. We're like 18-game season, 20-game season, let's go, right? But Kirk, like I said, money does give you options, now, including the option of potentially turning your back on your sport for a season in your prime, and you're not getting any younger. You are on the wrong side of 30. So what happens if a player opts out? So as of right now, the outline, and it still hasn't come to an agreement between the NFL and NFLPA, is that there will be a hard deadline when a player has to decide to opt in or opt out. Outline is that the player's contract would pause and toll for future years. So basically, take the Kirk Cousins contract, the final year of the 3-year, $84 million deal, plus the 2-year extension, just pause. And then it carries over to 2021 and beyond. So Kirk is due to make $9.5 million base salary this year. He also has a $30 million signing bonus that he got from his 2-year extension. Now, theoretically, Vikings would have grounds to ask for at least part of that back, or at least put part of that in escrow, since he's not technically accruing this season. But that's it's whatever. It's down the line. It's if Kirk is going to come back, it's kind of a moot point. It's not like he's retiring. If they retire, you could definitely see the team going after that money. It's whatever. But also, I mean, Kirk's small base salary could factor into the decision here, right? So it's easier to walk away from $9.5 million than it is from 30, right? So what happens if he does this? Well, some of the fans, as well as frankly some of the teammates, will rip him for sure. But if he thinks it's the best course of action for him and his family and their overall health, it's hard to knock it, especially if your family does consist of some older members as well as members who potentially have health health risk issues, right? So it would be extremely hard to fault him if we're being honest here. So if there's anyone the Vikings who I think would opt out, I think it could be Kirk. And, given the circumstances, the family dynamics as well as having cash already in the bank, I mean, plus it would expose the Vikings, piss poor plan at backup quarterback. So I think that potentially could be Armageddon. Now, I'm not saying that that's what he's inclined to do at this point, but if you factor in everything that's gone down this offseason, it's not impossible. One of those spots. So fire up the Mannion train, potentially. Let's go. All right, but your thoughts? Kirk Cousins potentially opting out of the 2020 season due to the Rona. I'll let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us up on the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.